Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and today we're going to discuss the smallest of Pauls, good old Small Paul. I do a Song of Ice and Fire lore vids here, and today I'm covering Small Paul, who was up at the wall. He's a big dude. If you've never been here before, I cover characters that have never been POV characters and that are like small enough not to make it onto the show. Sometimes I break that rule, but they're never like big characters on the show. Okay. I also do this without any real editing. I just kind of like yell at the screen until I cover everything I have written on these cards here. So yeah, we're headed back to the wall. There was a while there where I covered the wall like once a week. I do videos 2 times a week, by the way. And yeah, I want to go back to the wall with Small Paul of the wall. That's a bunch of rhyming words. I'm a talented man, guys. All right, I'll stop jibber jammering and start to jibber jammer about Small Paul. So Small Paul is a steward of the Night's Watch. His nickname is Ironic Irony, like that Alanis Morissette song. He is a very big man, much like how Bedwick is nicknamed Giant, even though he's 5 feet tall. Yeah, so there's like another guy at the wall named Bedwick who they call the Giant, who's 5 feet tall, and Small Paul is called Small Paul, even though he's giant. I mean, the wall's not super clever with their nicknames, but yeah. Small Paul is a large man, although he weighs less than Sam Tarley. Oh, poor Sam. He has a broad, brutal face with a flat, squashed pug nose, small, dark eyes, and he has a coarse, thick brown beard that covers most of his face. I like brutal face. If you like went on a date with like a girl or a guy and they're like, wow, you have a really brutal face, would you be like, thanks? Although he is a simpleton, me too, buddy. Paul is the strongest man on the wall, once breaking the back of a wildling with a hug. Yes, bear hug. It's like Zangief, or like a pro wrestler who isn't from a fighting game. Where I think of him as like a giant pro wrestler using bear hugs and stuff. However, he is normally gentle and does not know his own strength. He dislikes being called stupid. Yeah, who doesn't? So do I. Paul likes animals. He wants to take care of Mormont's ravens and attacks an other for killing a horse. Oh. All right. He wants to tend the ravens. All right. Let's talk about the Night's Watch. This is my pink Night's Watch card. I always cover their house in the second slide, but he doesn't have a house. He's from the Night's Watch, so I cover the Night's Watch, and I have this really cute pink card from when I covered Satin. Go watch that vid. All right. The Night's Watch is a military order dedicated to holding the wall, the immense fortification on the northern border of the Seven Kingdoms, defending the realms of men from what lies beyond the wall, mostly snarks and grumpkins. The order's foundation dates the Age of Heroes, at the time when the others were pushed back. Maybe, sure, who knows? It was a long time ago. The men of the Night's Watch wear only black, and they are known as Black Brothers. The recruits who join the Watch are said to have taken the black. So, yeah, let's move right on to Chet's pawn. Small Paul is part of the Great Ranging. So Small Paul isn't really brought up much until the third book. So Chet's chapter is the prologue of Feast for Crows. So, not Feast for Crows. Sorry, Storm of Swords. The third book. All right. Small Paul is part of the Great Ranging, which leaves Castle Black in search of the wildlings and also to find the people who've been lost up there. He is part of Chet's conspiracy to kill Jor Mormont, Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, with the help of Softfoot, which is another character. Small Paul plans to take Mormont's raven for his own. So yeah, Chet wants to kill off Jor Mormont and kind of flee. And in order to flee, he's got a lot of people. He's like, well, if we just kill these few people, we'll be able to desert the watch. and he uses people like Small Paul and a few others to take care of that. And yeah, Chet's a jerk. Chet and Lark, the sistermen, are conspiring to desert the Night's Watch, along with Small Paul, about a dozen other swarm brothers. The traitors plan to kill Lord Commander Mormont and several other officers to prevent anyone from actively seeking them after they desert. Why do I say things that I have written in the next paragraph? Their plan goes out the window after the dead attack of the Fist. Yeah, they weren't planning on that. They're just hanging out at the Fist of the First Men like, we got plans. And then 3 horns go off and they're like, crap, I don't think our plans are going to work out, guys. The dead are attacking. The British are coming. That's my Paul Revere joke. I'm tired. All right, Paul and Gren, after the fight at the Fist, the remnant of the Night's Watch retreat in disorder to the wall. During the retreat, Samwell Tarly tries and wants to be left behind. So yeah, he wants to be left behind, but Gren won't let that happen. So Samwell Tarly's like, I don't want to go. My feet hurt. Leave me to die. And then Gren's like, no, you dum-dum. That's what he said. Gren tries to get Sam to his feet, but the fat steward is too slow. Finally, Small Paul arrives and carries Sam. Thank you, Small Paul. He tells Sam that Chet was going to give him Mormont's raven, and he saved food for it, but he left its food in a hiding place. He then asks Sam for a raven, but Sam released all the ravens at the Fist. I love the 2 huge guys being the only guys that stop to help Sam. They try to sing a song to cheer Sam up, but he tells them not to. Yeah, this is a really tender scene in this Sam chapter where most of Small Paul's events happen in these 2 chapters. And yeah, they try to sing Bear in the Maiden Fair, but it just makes Sam think about the giant dead bear that the others used to attack with. And he's like, no, not that one. And it's just Gren, who's normally considered, I wouldn't go so far to say simpleton, but he's kind of slow. And, you know, he's a big dude. And then Small Paul, who they do consider a simpleton, who's also even a bigger guy. And that they're just helping Sam out. They're just these big and nice, gentle giants. It warms me heart. It warms me heart. Is that all for that slide? Yeah. So, the death in the cold. Oh, no. A tiring Paul, Sam, and Gren are eventually overtaken by an other. That's a White Walker, by the way. Those are bad business guys. They're ice demons. Don't want to be overtaken by an ice demon who rides a dead horse that belonged to a man at the Night's Watch. Gren and Paul attack the other. Paul doesn't like that he's riding a dead horse or something. Gren and Paul attack the other, which breaks Gren's sword and then kills Paul. After Paul crashes or dies and crashes into the other, tearing the sword from its hands. This allows, so as Paul is dying, he tackles the other and gets his sword out of his hand. So he does something really heroic in his last moments. This allows Sam to stab the other with the obsidian dagger, which is the dragon glass dagger that he has. The other melts in seconds from contact with the dagger. Gren checks if Small Paul is already dead, and he is, and closes his eyes. He and Samwell then travel to Craster's Keep with the rest of them. So that's it. That's our character. He already died, but we got more. But wait, there's more. Yeah, so that's really sad. You know, Small Paul just wants to take care of the ravens. He just wants to tend the ravens. Don't worry, we'll get to that. And he ends up doing something heroic and then dying. No one ever gives him his love. He ends up being left there for the others. And it's a very unceremonial death for a really nice, simple guy who's being manipulated by Chet to be part of this rebellion where they kill a bunch of people. And then later, all he does is just like save Sam, and he just wants a pet raven, guys. I love small Paul. He's such a sweetheart. Paul is dead. That's a Beatles theory reference. I'm tired, all right? At Craster's Keep, Craster and Jorah Mormont are killed in a mutiny. Sam flees with Gilly and her infant son while they are making their way to the wall. Paul, who has been turned into a white, comes after them. That's the most scariest zombie I could think of. It's a gigantic, huge dude. Like, Paul was huge. Like, man, they wanted to get that kid, and they sent their scariest new zombie to do it. According to Gilly, the white has come for the baby. Sam tries to talk with the white, partly because he hopes that the undead small Paul can remember his life. Of course not. Partly so Gilly has time to flee. So he's trying to talk to him, but more to buy time, but also he's alive, maybe he wouldn't attack Sam. Since literally his last act was to save Sam, maybe it would get him to remember and not attack him. No, that doesn't work. He's a zombie. The white does not respond, however, and walks to Gilly and her baby. Sam uses the obsidian dagger, but it has no effect. Because he's not a White Walker. He's just a white. He's not another. He's just a zombie. The white begins to strangle Sam, but at the last moment, he smashes Paul with a chunk of smoldering wood. The flames burn the white, Paul, and after escaping, Sam notices that the blue glow that the white had in his eyes has left Paul's corpse. Oh, wow. That's it. That's Paul's second death. So yeah, small Paul dies saving Sam, and then his white corpse tries to kill Sam, and Sam ends up burning him alive. Man, I'm really talking about fun stuff today, aren't I? All right, let's talk about the kind of the big inspiration for small Paul, and that, of course, is Lennie Small from Of Mice and Men. Small Paul may be loosely based on Lennie Small, a character of the novella Of Mice and Men, written by John Steinbeck. In fact, the fact that he is a huge simpleton and loves animals. Also, he is loving and gentle, much like Lennie. Yeah, Lennie, if you guys don't remember Of Mice and Men, is extremely strong, doesn't know his own strength, and also he is simple. And George, who's kind of taking care of him, constantly talks to him about maybe one day they'll have a farm and they'll get enough money and they'll buy a farm. And he wants to have rabbits, and he talks about rabbits all the time. And he always has George tell him about the rabbits. Oh, I get to tend the rabbits. And small Paul talks about the ravens all the time with Chet. Like, hey, after we do this, can I keep a raven? And he's like, oh, I'll even feed it. And then he starts saving up his own food to feed the raven. And then later, when he talks to Sam after Chet dies, he's like, can I have a raven? Like, he's just obsessed with taking care of this animal. And it's really sweet and cute. And yeah, so it's a lot like Lennie Small. Besides that, there isn't many theories. Look at my typos. Many theories about Paul. One cute moment, Paul's hands were coal and his face was milk. His eyes. So this is not a cute moment. I don't know why I said this, but Paul's hands were coal and his face was milk. His eyes shone a bitter blue, hoarfrost whitened beard, and on one shoulder hunched a raven, picking at his cheek, eating the dead white flesh. So in death, he got his raven. That's not that cute because it's about his dead body being alive. But in death, at least, he did get a raven that ate his face. I don't know why I called it cute, but I couldn't find. I always look at some fan theories, and all I could find really was a connection to Lennie. And then, yeah, somebody just pointed out he got his raven. Like, oh yeah, he did. So yeah, that was Small Paul. What'd you guys think of Small Paul? I have a lot of other Night's Watch guys. I've covered Ulmer of the Kingswood. I've covered Satin. And there's probably somebody else I'm not thinking about right now. Squire Dullbridge is another Black Brother I've covered. So yeah, there was Small Paul. Let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. If you never, if this is your first time here and you watched the whole vid, thank you. And also, please click like. It helps a lot. And also subscribe if you want to see more, because I do 2 a week. Hopefully I'm still doing that. And yeah, I love talking about a Song of Ice and Fire. And yeah, please comment. I'll respond. And yeah, you guys have a good day. And I'm going to go get a pet raven.